Now joined by Mark Burkardt, the head coach of the Greater Latrobe Wildcats girls basketball team, as they head into the 5A playoffs with a 14-8 overall record, 6-6 out of Section 3. Mark, first off, congratulations on getting to the playoffs. I know early in the season, after you had some injury concerns, obviously Emma Blair going out, it was not a given that you'd be in the playoffs. But what has your team done well to overcome that significant absence that you've had to play through?
The girls were very resilient this year. As you said, we started off really strong with Emma. We were 3-0. We felt like we were right back on the path that we had been for the last 2 years. Then her injury teamed with Ellie's injury coming out of volleyball. She had been in a boot for about 9 weeks prior to the season. It made us reevaluate a lot of things, and we had to change some things on the fly, which I've never had to do in all my years of coaching. Usually you set up what you want to do in the spring, summertime, you work on it, and you're ready to go when the season started. So we kind of went back to square one on December 9th when Emma's injury happened.
Well, the good news for you is that your team responded right around Christmas time. You got on a little win streak, carried that into section play all the way up through about mid-January. Now, you ran into some really good section opponents in McKeesport and Oakland Catholic, but what did you adjust, and how did the players ultimately end up thriving with their new roles?
We adjusted was originally when we had Emma, she was obviously the first option in the post. And with her gone, Camille had to slide into that position, but I also wanted to keep, Camille's a very good outside shooter. So I wanted to keep her also in that role. So we changed some offenses to do that. Carly Burke and Belle Blasi came in and took the point guard spot over, and one would play point, one would play the opposite guard. And we kind of rotated that throughout the season, depending on who we were playing, what teams we were doing. So that helped a tremendous amount. And who I thought was going to be the secret weapon and like the third or fourth option, Josie Stragus, had to become number 2. And she did a fantastic job of that. She had a double-double in numerous games.
I know you mentioned that you were able to play without Ellie Snyder early in the season. When you did get her back, she made a real difference. She had a couple monster performances. Her three-point shooting in particular, a record-setting 10 threes in a game. What stood out about her performance this season?
Ellie's done a fantastic job helping us rebound when we've lost Emma. Everybody knows Ellie can shoot, and she's a very good offensive player. But where her and Camille lead the team with 14.2, 14.3. They're right around their points per game. But Ellie's done a tremendous job on the boards for us this year also.
So unfortunately for you, you lose your regular season finale at Penn Trafford, a game that would decide third place. You come up a little bit short on the road in that one. As a result, you get the 4th spot in the section. And it looks like, based on the seeding, that did make somewhat of a difference. How do you kind of overcome that adversity after that late season loss?
We're not overcoming anything. Penn Trafford has to play South Fayette if they win their first game. And we get Armstrong. So I'm good with it.
Well, you get the number 13 seed. How did that align with what your expectations were heading into the playoffs?
I don't know that the seed as much as who I thought we were going to play. I really believed we were either going to play Armstrong or Trinity. I thought that's who we were going to play. I thought that was a fair matchup by the way things shook out. And so the 13 seed, other than us probably never having a home game, if upsets would happen, it doesn't really bother me. I like where we are in the bracket.
So when you look at Trinity, I know this is a team that's had a lot of success in recent years. What stands out, and what will you have to do well to have success?
They're a tremendous three-point shooting team. They live by, it looks like from what I've watched of them, live by the 3, die by the 3. Last year, they pressed like Oakland Catholic did continually and had 9 girls that they brought right at you. This year, I don't see the pressure defense as much from what I've seen of them. I've watched their last 5 games so far, and I don't see that pressure defense, but I see that they could be very explosive offensively. And if they all get hot, it's going to be a long night for the Wildcats.
Well, you mentioned Oakland Catholic. They get the number 2 seed. McKeesport gets the number 3 seed. So you played against probably 2 of the 3 best teams in the whole classification twice in your section. Does that prepare you for postseason grind?
Absolutely, as well as if you want to look at the rest of the schedule, Norwin, Indiana, River Valley, who's a very high District 6 team. There were no easy nights here. I really believe that because of the schedule we had, and I feel, we're probably biased in our section. We felt we had the hardest section in 5A. And I think it's comparable to the South Fayette section, but I just feel from top to bottom that we probably had one of the harder sections. And I think that's made us ready to go. There won't be any surprises on the kind of competition that we're going to face in the playoffs.
And lastly, I know that this is your final year for you as the head coach. Does it feel a little bit different heading into what's going to be your final postseason?
It does, because I know the next loss is the last game. So we're just going to fight to try. I'm right along with my seniors for a change. We go into playoffs. We always talk about, we don't want it to end. We don't want it to end. And so the seniors and I are going to try to fight to stay alive as long as we can.
Well, Mark, thanks so much for doing this. We appreciate you taking the time, and good luck in the postseason.
Thanks, Sean. And we appreciate everything Westmoreland Sports does for high school basketball.